She's been recording.
All right, let me chug my energy drinks. So I get all hyper.
Plural?
You're gonna drink all of them?
No. Why, God? Oh, right before we start, I'm soaked.
It's recorded. It's recorded. I'm so glad that got recorded. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Tyler.
How you been, buddy?
Oh, so Monday,
Fun precast.
on Monday, we went to magnet fishing. We went to go magnet
You went
fishing.
to magnet fishing.
We went
okay?
magnet
I
fishing.
didn't know that was a place.
Yeah, we went magnet fishing. And on the hike, I blew out my knee. Didn't know it till the next morning. And when I went to go stand up, after sitting in my chair for like an hour after waking up, I went to go stand up and my knee was just like, bye. And so now it hurts to go from a sitting position to a standing position.
Did you get anything cool? That's all I care about. I don't care
Yes,
about your
we
knee.
got like 100+ year old fox trap.
That's it?
Oh, I'm sorry. We were deep in the woods. Do you not think that's cool? It's the snapping fox trap.
Those are relatively available.
Yeah, but
Readily
it's
available.
super.
Not relatively.
It's super old. It's like 100-something years old. Do they even make those anymore? The little snappers?
Yeah.
All right, well, it's old. I don't think it's a new fox trap that was thrown into the river.
Probably some Indian used it.
Yep, that's the Native Americans were well known for using metal traps
Yeah.
100 years ago. No, but yeah, that was pretty fun. We did that for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It's just too many words. Too many words for that one holiday. Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
You could just say King Jr.
Or MLKJ Day.
No, it would be just MLK Jr. Day.
I mean, sure. I like MLKJ.
Milk Jr.
Milk Jr.
Milk Jr. Rest in peace. Never forget.
Sounds like it's going to be the skin color of your first child.
Milk?
Milk Jr.
Milk Jr.?
Here comes little Lactose Jr.
Let's see. We typically record these on Wednesdays,
Yep.
but I felt sick.
Yeah.
Not really. I just didn't want to come. And then...
Really?
No, I didn't
Okay.
feel sick.
Because I was ready to walk out the door. Not really, because you told me a few hours, like 2 hours beforehand.
I was still at work when I texted you.
You called me.
Oh, that I just left work.
Yep. You can't get your story straight.
Listen, I started work for the last week. I started
In
work.
the past week, you started work.
Well, this past week was my first day of
Yeah.
work.
Correct.
And I've been hating my life.
Well,
But that's a conversation for a different day.
okay.
I just wanted to add that little tidbit in. So my whole schedule and like everything is just messed up.
You look so high. You're like, started week. Hate my life.
Yeah.
Anyways.
This is how I talk to people at work.
Wait, you want money or something?
Yeah.
All right, so moving into some gaming news. Have you heard about the review bombing on Harry Potter?
Yeah. I don't know the details, but I know that it's not pretty.
No, it's fixed. They Steam went through and fixed it all, and it was the stupidest thing. So do you know why people have an issue with Harry Potter now?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so J.K. Rowling, is that her name?
Yes.
Yeah, just kidding, Rowling. So she is now considered what's called a TERF amongst the trans activist community. And what a TERF is a woman who was born a woman who works against the trans community. I don't know. It's something stupid. It's a really stupid term that is horrible. Fix it. The reason that she's now hated amongst trans people, even though she's always been a big trans activist and LGBTQ activist, is because at one point in time she said she doesn't believe that trans women should speak on the reproductive rights of women, which makes perfect sense. Because, you know, they don't have the reproductive organs to begin with. Like, you know, it'd be like if I said, well, because I'm a man, I should be able to speak on the lives of black men. It's like, well, yeah, but you're a white guy, so it's different.
Right.
So that's why she's hated now. So what trans activists did, go ahead.
The Harry Potter game has nothing to do with J.K. Rowling.
I know.
Rawr.
Listen, people who are activists in this kind of way, they're too stupid to know this kind of stuff. Like, they're just not smart. They're like, oh, it's the original concept was created by J.K. Rowling, so she's getting fat checks. Like, she's not even getting a fat check from the game. Don't get me wrong, she'll get royalties, but it has nothing to do with the original Harry Potter universe. You're just in that universe, making your own character and playing through it.
It's just
yeah,
fooling around.
So, what they did, since they can't truly review bomb it because it hasn't come out yet, what they did is they thought it was such a good idea to go in and add categories to the game.
Categories to the game.
So they went onto Steam and added categories, and if enough people add a certain category, it bumps it up higher up the list. And so they added evil protagonist, capitalism, which K, World War II, and there was one other one. It was stupid. Like I said, it was very dumb, but this is the route that they decided to take to voice their frustrations about J.K. Rowling's personal beliefs about women's reproductive organs.
Cancel culture, man.
I know. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're just out there running amok.
You and I are single-handedly canceling people.
That's right.
Single-handling.
Single-handedly.
Listen, as you can see in precast, and before we started recording, my words are not great today. Not one bit.
Not one bit. You couldn't even figure out how a light works.
Shh. We don't talk about that.
We don't say that in front of Grandma.
Yeah. Listen, don't shame me.
But
I'll cancel you.
yeah, so I super am excited for Harry Potter.
Are you?
Mm-hmm. I did a reaction to the announcement trailer, I think it was.
I remember that.
And everything that it showed me.
That was after I unsubscribed from you.
Thanks. Appreciate. Everything it showed me was so exciting. Like the fact that you make your own character. I love customization. You get to raise animals in an animal sanctuary in your place. They have an in-depth crafting system, all that kind of... You yawning? It's not even late, Tyler.
Continue. Go ahead. Listen.
What in the... What is happening?
I don't know.
Elevator music! All right, we're back.
So, do you get to... I don't know anything about this game. I haven't looked at... So, when I'm excited for a game, or I'm not really excited for the Harry Potter game, to be honest.
I'm very excited.
The last Harry Potter games that come out that were based off the movies have just been bleh.
Well, that's the whole thing, is this one's not based off the movies.
The best game ever. It's going to beat Harry Potter. Like, it's going to beat it out of the water. Was Wizarding 101.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, that game was awesome.
I never actually played that one.
It was so bad. No, it was great. It was amazing.
Listen, we have some hopefully bangers coming out this year. The two I can think of are Harry Potter and Starfield.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for those.
Bethesda Softworks is my all-time. Oh, wait, let me ask you the question I was going to ask you first.
Okay.
Do you get to go through like the whole sorting hat process?
Yeah. Yep.
But what happens if you don't get a house you want, or it's one of those sorting hats and you have to pick what house you want to be in?
Probably. I don't know.
That's stupid.
It would be cool if it was
Based off your traits that you put your character. Yeah.
Because I think you like pick your background and everything, and if it was just like, here you go. Now it'd be even cooler if they did that, and you had the option of like turning on hints like this will lean you towards this house or whatever. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would work. But anyway, so Bethesda Software is my favorite video game. They've got Arcane Studios, which does Dishonored, Deathloop, Prey.
Yep.
Which I started playing that the other day.
Such a good game.
It's pretty good.
Although I never beat it because
it's hard.
I played it right after it came out, and I got to a point that was glitched, and I looked it up, and I wasn't the only. I was one of like 10 people who were reporting this glitch. And basically, there is a certain point where you're floating outside of the space station, and you had to do something. You had to scan something or whatever, and my game just completely broke, and the last thing that you had to scan or whatever you had to do wouldn't work, and you couldn't go back into the side of the space station. That was like right towards the end of the game. I was pissed. But anyways, go on.
I always save before I go into a new loaded area.
Didn't matter.
Really?
It was from what I looked up, it was a glitch that if it happens, your entire playthrough, like it was coded into that playthrough, because people said they would load way far back and get back to that point. It's the same thing. And Bethesda came out and said, yeah, it's a coding issue. And so if that happens to you, your entire playthrough is just screwed.
And Bethesda can't release a patch or anything to fix it?
Not for something like that, because that would mean that they'd have to release a patch that went out and somehow seeked out those specific save files. And so the only way to fix it was they patched it out, but the only way to...
Your game was already bricked by that point.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense. So...
You had to restart.
Before I move on, I didn't know anything about Prey.
Yeah.
Not one thing. When you load in, you go through the whole process of doing all your little tests, the little black goo thing, alien pops up, and then your day restarts. Then you go out into the hallway and the chick's all dead, and you can't get any of the doors. The elevators just disappeared. Then you go back into your house, you just throw something through the window. That is trippy as all get out. So, of course, being the guy I am, I restarted my game. I created a different save to see if I could just throw something through the window, right off the start. You can't. I wish you could have. That would have been amazing. That would have been really cool if you did it and that was a secret ending to the game. You know how Far Cry, there's always that secret ending right at the beginning?
That would have been actually really cool. And they had armed guards or somebody take you out.
Yep.
I should go back and play that. That is such a good game. They actually, so do you know what Gary's Mod is? Prop Hunt. They made, it was a free DLC for the game, and it's Prop Hunt.
Really?
Yeah. And so some people play as the black goop and they go around and they
they take over. They morph into that's smart.
And it was fun. I played that a little bit, but
so Bethesda's got Oblivion. They've got or they partner with Oblivion, but I think they own.
You're talking about Obsidian?
Yeah, that's what I meant, Obsidian. I think they own a part of it.
No, so Obsidian...
Is it just a partnership?
Yeah, so Obsidian made Fallout New Vegas.
Well, right, yeah. With the partnership of...
Because of the glitches in Fallout New Vegas, Obsidian and Bethesda got onto some bad terms. Because Bethesda kind of put a lot of the blame onto them. And they're like, well, we kind of asked you for more resources. And so they were on bad terms since Microsoft acquired both of them. Now they're, I guess, back on good terms, but they've always been two separate companies. They were just hired out for New Vegas.
See, I couldn't remember if Bethesda took Obsidian or if Microsoft took Obsidian. That's how that worked. Yeah. Anyway, but...
Microsoft had Obsidian before they bought Bethesda.
Bethesda's got a lot of stuff that they're working on. They got Starfall, Redfall. Starfield, Redfall.
Oh, is that? Yeah, that is Bethesda.
Then they have Elder Scrolls 6,
which
has been in the works. It's been teased officially, but it's still not
Yeah, I think we're looking at 2025 for that one.
Yeah,
that's the estimate.
And then apparently, and I never knew this, they're working on an Indiana Jones game.
That's weird.
Yeah, they're working on an Indiana Jones game. When I was looking at what Bethesda had going, because there's a lot of news surrounding Bethesda right now.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's early development, so it probably won't get done until Starfield's over, Elder Scrolls is done, and then Redfall's coming out. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I did not know
That is
they had
interesting.
Indiana Jones. Yeah.
That's really strange for them to make a. Well, I guess
that's the thing that I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's going to be just.
I'm curious if they're publishing
driven.
and developing, because if they're publishing, that
No,
means
no.
they bought the rights. But it
They
would make
are-
more sense if they're just developing.
They're the publishers.
Oh,
The developer is Machine Games, which I don't know.
that's one of the studios they work with. That's really strange.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I just found out about it today. Oh yeah, because Redfall is Arcane.
Yeah. Now, see, if somebody said, "Hey, there's going to be a new Indiana Jones,"
That's
game,
actually supposed to come out this year.
if somebody told me that, I would assume that we would see that from Naughty Dog, because they make, Uncharted was very much just Indiana Jones / Tomb Raider.
Yep.
That's basically
Or-
just like an off-brand shoot of those two titles.
Yeah, or who did Tomb Raider?
Square Enix.
Square Enix. Yeah, I could see them doing an Indiana Jones game.
Yeah, but
Anyway,
weird. All right,
yep.
interesting.
Yeah, but Bethesda's got a lot going on for themselves. Yeah, this year's slate of lineup games. So we got Redfall supposed to come out this year. We've got Starfield that's supposed to come out this year. Supposed to come out last year, but we're not going to talk about that.
Look up Avowed. See when that's coming out.
What?
Avowed.
ABOUD?
Nope. AVOWED. That's a.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
I think that's supposed to be the first exclusive that Obsidian's making for Microsoft.
No, because they had
about
Grounded.
Oh, that's right. I forgot Grounded was them. Avowed is one that I'm pumped for.
Avowed's apparently not supposed to be coming out until 2024.
Ah, all right.
Anyways,
yeah, Obsidian. So your favorite company is Bethesda. Bethesda is definitely in my top, probably my second favorite.
It was Bioware, but then EA took them, and then it's just garbage.
But I actually had this conversation with somebody recently. I'm like, Bioware cannot be considered a good company anymore.
No.
Their last 3 or 4 titles were flops.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think we're going to see the next Dragon Age. I think that won't come out at all. We're either not going to see the next Dragon Age, or we're not going to see the next Mass Effect. One of the two won't come out.
Dragon Age Inquisition.
Mm-hmm. That was good. That was a good game. That was their last good game.
It was all right. It didn't do well. I mean,
yeah.
I think it was too different from the original 2. The original 2 were super like create your own story and like figure it all out.
So
Inquisition was very much driven by the game, like
right,
and it got very grindy, very repetitive.
So Inquisition was well received, but it wasn't received by many. That's the whole thing.
And then you've got the flop of Anthem.
Yep. Well, Anthem was a flop.
They were saying they were doing
Andromedus was a flop.
They were supposed to. What did you just say?
Andromedus.
It's not Andromedus.
Yeah.
Mass Effect Andromeda.
Andromeda. My bad. I'm sorry. I added an S.
But anyway, yeah. So with Anthem, they were working on a fix for it. They were going to re-release the game, and then BioWare just came back and said, "Yeah, no, EA's scrapping it." And then with Andromeda, they had so many good DLC lineups for it, and then it did so poorly that they're just like, "Yeah, no, we're just scrapping it."
So when you're
Andromeda could have been a great game.
It could have been, but so I played through Andromeda. I enjoyed it enough, but it didn't have the same magic that 1 through 3 had. Even if you take out the glitches and like the bad faces and all that kind of stuff, it just didn't have that same magic feeling. It had a lot of really good qualities in its own, but it just, I don't know. It was something about it. The voice acting was not that great. Obviously the faces weren't that great, and the story wasn't that great. So it was just, the combat was pretty good. That was about it.
Yeah.
But with being owned by, or like having an IP that's owned by or controlled by EA, yeah, if it flops at launch, they're gonna kill it. And unfortunately, they lost all their key players at BioWare.
Actually, that's funny because Battlefield 2042 or whatever, they're trying everything in their power to keep that thing alive.
Well, it's because Battlefield has been a huge moneymaker.
Yeah, but the Battlefield 2042 is flopping.
Yep. Well, the last Battlefield's been getting worse for the past like 3 or 4.
Battlefield 4 was the best.
I don't know if I think I played that one a little bit, but
Well, not the best. Battlefield 3 and 4 were top tier. They were pretty good.
So yeah, my number one game company for sure is Obsidian. I love Obsidian.
What else have they done?
So they made
Got Grounded.
Pillars of Eternity, which I love.
Oh, Pillars, yeah.
I love both those games. Knights of Pen and Paper, I'm pretty sure they made, and then as well with Paradox. I can't remember if Paradox was just a. I think they just did the what's it called, where they transferred the game to a different company or different platforms. But yeah, Obsidian has made absolute bangers. Grounded, Pillars of Eternity, my favorite Fallout, which is New Vegas. So, and Outer Worlds.
That was good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, Outer Worlds.
I'm waiting for the DLC to be cheaper because I want to play the DLC for it. But
is DLC not free on Xbox? That sucks.
Outer Worlds isn't even free on.
It's in Game Pass.
Not anymore.
I just looked at it today.
I'm pretty sure it's not free anymore.
All right. Well, anyways, sure, whatever.
Anyway, so I want to talk about something I'm a bit interested in.
Okay.
Season 2 of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is coming out.
Yeah.
February 15th. Rachel and I have been playing that a little more lately. So, some things that I don't know if you've kept up on the news for this. They're bringing back 1v1 gulags.
Oh, okay.
So,
That's not bad. Yeah, that's pretty good.
They are Battle Royale looting changes will include player eliminations and all loot containers popping loot onto the floor. So instead of looting people's backpacks and you not be able to find the backpack right away, when you kill a guy, it's like normal Warzone. All this loot will confetti out of him like they did in the original Warzone.
See, I'm not a huge fan of that, but go on.
Yep. They're just slowly releasing updates. I'm looking at their Instagram.
Yeah.
Call of Duty's Instagram. DMZ will feature new missions. Okay. A new exclusion zone and difficulty tuning.
Difficulty tuning.
So I don't know if that means they're tuning the difficulty or if they're going to allow the player to tune it.
I imagine they're tuning it because, like, DMZ, when it first started, the AI were, most of them, not all of them, but most of them were so easy. Like, they would barely land.
And then they took it to the other extreme.
Right. Like, so it went from the AI barely landing a shot, and now it's tuned to where AI will spot you from a mile away and snipe you.
Through buildings.
Yeah, through buildings and just, I mean, it's ridiculous.
And then we talked about it, hardcore mode will return to multiplayer.
Yeah. Which I'm excited for that because tier 1, as much as I like it, it's not great. Yeah, so, you know, we were talking about this off podcast, but tier 1, with the way they have it set up where you can't see who killed you, you can't see any of that kind of information, it is a hacker's playground.
Yeah.
I was playing a game right before we came here, and I love, by the way, that they keep. I wish they would just have them both up at the same time, but they have the shoot house, and then they have shipment.
24/7.
And so they keep swapping them in and out. Shoot house is amazing for getting your platinums, and
yeah, because you're long distance.
Yep, and the only platinums that you can get inside of Shipment, thank you, is melee, rocket launcher, pistol, and shotguns. And I think SMGs technically, but it's harder because you still have to be at like just the right distance. So, you know, I love that they have both of those, at least one of them constantly. I would love it if they're both there all the time because certain guns you just can't do on shipment. But I was playing a game. This guy So there's a few different hacks. There's one that's so annoying as a hitbox reducer. And so, you have your character model, it has its hitbox, and then they have hacks that shrink it. And they basically make everything skinnier. So unless you shoot them directly in the center, if you shoot them like in the sides or in the arms, legs, that kind of stuff, it's not going to land.
Nice.
And so this guy had that hack. He had something that made him immune to explosions. I know this because I stuck him in the face, literally on his face, beep, 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 blows up, nothing. He just keeps walking. Then he ran through, after taking the Simtex to the face, he runs through all of my mines, my cluster mines, and he just hits all of them, clears them, and then just keeps going on.
That's ridiculous.
Yep. As well as literally he's shooting at you as you spawn. So he's just firing at a location as you spawn. So he has like a spawn tracker. Because as soon as you die, the game decides where you're going to spawn next. Doesn't even matter. It's not like a split-second decision. You die, your next spawn's here. Which is why on Shipment, because it's such a small map, you'll spawn in front of people all the time. Because, it's pretty hard to have a location without anybody.
Yeah.
So, with them changing it back to hardcore, that's going to be fantastic because...
Now you've got you get notification.
Yeah. Because as of right now, I'm just like, okay, this guy has 100 kills. So I'm pretty sure he's the hacker.
Yeah.
You just have to kind of guess.
But you've been playing Power Wash Simulator.
Not Power Wash Simulator. Yeah.
Power Wash Simulator.
I want to move into that. If you want to be done with talking about Call of Duty.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So, House Flipper. It's called...
Oh, it is House Flipper.
Yeah, it's called House Flipper.
Yeah.
And boy, howdy, is that game addicting.
Not playing it on Xbox. It is difficult playing on Xbox.
Okay. See, which is funny because any videos I've looked up, which is like 2, I always find people playing on PlayStation. Or it could be Xbox. I can't tell. It just says X. So I don't know if they're hitting Xbox X or PlayStation X. But I assume it's PlayStation. But yeah, that game... You want a relaxing game to just zone out and just chill? Whew. It's so good.
It is so good.
I give, so as far as relaxing games go, I give that one a solid, if we're going to go out of 10, I'm going to give that one an 8.5 to a 9. Because, one, I love the fact that I can basically just do whatever I want. If I want to tear down a wall, depending on what part of the game you're doing, because there's
what contract you take.
Well, there's contracts that you get where somebody's like, hey, I need you to do these specific things, and then you can just buy a house, flip it, and sell it.
Oh, okay.
And so yeah, like the one time
I haven't gotten to that point yet. I still live in the shack.
Well, you just upgrade.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like I think I just recently painted it or whatever.
Yeah, but that's what's so enjoyable. It like. I went through and I bought a house, and I just, I don't know. I spent a solid like 3 hours just zoning out and just making this house beautiful.
Listen, I am a terrible human being.
Okay.
Because I've started playing Fallout 4 again.
That does make you terrible.
No, listen, it has to do with your whole house flipping thing.
Okay.
And we all know that the settlement building in Fallout 4 is addictive.
Yes.
And
insanely so.
Time loses you.
Yep. Or you lose it, I think is probably what you're trying to say.
In 2 days. I think it's actually 3 days. 3 days. Rachel said, "You're playing Fallout 4 again?" I said, "Yeah." And I've been staying up until like 2 a.m. just settlement building.
Yep.
I told Rachel, I said, "Rachel, I've put in just in 3 days. I kid you not, I'm pretty sure it's been 3 days. I put in almost 24 hours.
That's insane.
And it's just settlement building. And I told Rachel, I was like, I'm going to go into this game and I'm not going to use any mods.
Yeah, I don't like using mods. And
then I realized how muted the settlement building is without mods. I'm like, nope, I'm adding mods back in. Because I want to get all the achievements in that game, but I can't. But I it's funny because I'll go into a location, like one of the settlements for a mission or whatever,
Yeah.
and because I'm also trying to progress through the mission. I'm not just trying to do settlement stuff. And I try to progress through the mission. And then it's like one of them was Preston Garvey told me to go to the first place, I think it's Tim Pine's Bluff or whatever, to help them. And then I get to this point where I was like, well, I feel bad. I can't just leave these two people here to fend off this farm by themselves. So I build them a whole fortified structure of walls and turrets everywhere.
Yeah.
Got guards walking around and standing at guard posts. I'm just like, this is why I get myself in trouble. But it's the same thing with Sims 4. Rachel and I would load up Sims 4, and we would just, time would fly.
Oh, yeah.
Like, where did time go? Playing Sims 4? Like, she's the kind of person where she likes to build her houses from scratch. I like to go in and remodel houses. She'll do it from scratch. I use the shell and then reshape it how I want.
I do both.
But she does it because of the story she plays. Like, she actually plays the game to play the game.
Yeah.
I don't. I just go in and remodel houses and stuff like that. But
Which I haven't played a Sims game in forever.
dude, Sims 4, it's too late to get into now because you're going to want to buy all the DLC. You're going to drop like $1,000.
Yeah, which that's a whole ridiculous conversation, but go on.
Well, okay. Let's put it in this perspective. You have an expansion pack come out once a year. Okay? I think they have... I don't remember how they do it. I think they actually probably have it once a quarter that they had an expansion pack or game pack or whatever come out. But you're buying... Oh, Sims 4 is free now on PC. Just to let you know. Sorry, I had to tell you that before.
Listen, I can't even get into it. I can't. I have too much going on.
But
I want to.
Yeah, needless to say, if you buy like what you have and then as things are releasing, they're affordable enough to where you could just buy them as they release. And the game's super old. I think that game also came out in 2014 or like 2015, like around the same time Fallout did. But we own all the packs, so it doesn't really matter. Because it got to a point where we were just dating, and I was like, Rachel, I really want to play Sims 4, and I've never played it before. I've never played any Sims. Like, I've never owned them.
Oh, really?
I played Sims 3, but I had it on Xbox 360.
Okay.
And then I had Sims 2 on the PlayStation.
What's out right now? Sims 5 or 6?
4.
That's the most recent?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Came out in 2015.
Interesting.
2014, 2015. So we were dating, and I had just gotten my gaming laptop, the one that you thought I still had. And I think, I just bought all the packs. I was like, I have all this expendable money. I'm not married or anything. So, yeah.
So,
The house doing stuff is just ridiculous.
Yeah. I loved Sims back in the day, and I know I would get into it and get addicted, so I know I can't do it. But back to Fallout 4. Yeah, I'm the same way. I would spend just forever making places and like making the settlements. So the one time, what's the main one, Sanctuary? Yeah. So I decided in one of my playthroughs,
I think that's the second biggest settlement in the game.
Yeah. So in one of my playthroughs, I decided I'm going to just make the entire settlement way up in the sky.
What?
Yeah. And so I just built everything up.
There's a height limit.
Yeah. But you can get in Sanctuary, you can get basically 4 or 5 stories up. So like
as tall as the tree.
Yep. Exactly. And so I built everything up, and when people would attack, I just had turrets all at the bottom of the stairs. And so like they would never get to anything. It was just everybody was up in the air. They'd have to run up these stairs. So
how did you protect your water sources?
Turrets, just tons of turrets.
Oh, you just put turrets on them?
Yeah. So I did that. There's the one alleyway. That's my favorite one. I don't know
Hangman's
why.
Alley?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a small settlement, but you could build pretty tall.
I built a 3-story throughout the entire place. So like you walk in, it's just 3 stories. Basically built a building.
There's a mod called Sim Settlements where you could basically set it up to where when settlers move in, they'll build your settlement for you while you're away playing the game. And then you'll come back and they'll have like their own little area. So I tried that out for a little bit. There's a Sim Settlements too. But it's too complicated for me to like get into and still want to play like the game.
Yeah.
So my biggest thing in that game is building fences around the entire perimeter.
Yep.
Because if you
Same.
know, the snapping is awful in that game. Everything about building in Fallout 4 is awful. Like, it's fun to do.
It's not
but
great.
It doesn't work half the time.
Right.
But I found a mod recently. Nobody's downloaded this mod. It's got like a rating of 0. So I don't know if it's like brand new. But it puts pre-built fences.
I think Rachel's dying.
She is. She's bored. It puts pre-built fences around all your settlements.
Oh.
Lore friendly. So, do you know the fences around Covenant, the big brick?
Yeah.
So they put those around Sanctuary, which it's technically realistic because that settlement could have them before the war. Because it was supposed to be a gated community. I mean, it has that footbridge that gets across it.
Right.
One of the other ones was Timpime's Bluff. It's got the short, like, rock walls. Like, they look like cobblestone walls. Yeah. My favorite settlement's Taffington Boathouse.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
The original Taffington Boathouse is pretty dilapidated and it sucks to fill the holes.
Right.
I just use a mod called Move In Ready Taffington Boathouse, and it fixes all that to where you have an actual structure you could just build in. Although yesterday I tore down the whole dock building and rebuilt it by myself. But they put like little fishnet fences around the outside of it.
I mean, chicken wire? Or is it fishnet?
It's fishnet.
Oh, okay.
But it's so lore friendly and it's crazy. Like, and now I don't have to do any of it myself. And it just saves a lot of time and a lot of frustration to where I could just make it look better. And
it probably doesn't use any resources either.
No, because it's
already
you load
there.
up the game, it's there. When you walk into settlement for the first or sanctuary the first time, those walls are already there and built.
That's cool. So I played through Fallout 4. I've beaten, which is very rare for
so many times.
I've only beaten it the one time. So it's been out for long enough. I feel like we can talk about it. So I sided with the railroad.
Okay.
And with the railroad, what they do is you at one point you set up the teleporter.
Yep.
And at one point you have to go into a sewer system to like help get the teleporter ready. And it's like 2 or 3 missions before the final mission. And so they're like, hey, when we go into the sewer, there's going to be a fight because there's going to be mud crabs, so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. And so I'm like, okay, I'm ready to keep progressing the missions. I enter the sewer in the game.
Mud crabs or Skyrim.
Oh, sorry.
Mirelurks.
Mirelurks, yeah. That's right. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm ready to do this mission. I think you have to like run wires or something through the sewer. Well, the game's just like, hey, you know what? You're far enough. And so I enter the sewer, and then all of a sudden, it's me and every railroad person in the center of, what's it called? Oh, what are they called? The synth people. What are they called?
Institute?
The Institute. Yeah, we're in the center of the Institute. And everybody in the Institute's just already firing at us. And so like literally the game just loads and it's just, you hear, boom! It's just, everybody is just exploding. So I had found, I think they patched out some of these OP weapons. I had found pretty early on a combat shotgun that had range that was like insane. I mean, I could snipe people with it. It had no reload. So just whatever your ammo reserve was, it would just use it. You never had to reload it. It would fire 3 bullets, I think, at one time. So 1 shot equaled 3 shots. Mm-hmm. Explosive rounds. And it was something like every time you shot, you gained back. It was something ridiculous. So I just used that gun. After I found that and I leveled it up, I used that gun for everything because why not? It was just incredibly insane.
Yeah.
And so I'm just sitting in the middle. I'm just spinning in a swivel, just shooting everybody. And then I go up, find my son, and murder him.
Yeah, I've beaten it with every major faction.
Nice.
So
which one was the best?
Probably the Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Just because of Eden Prime.
How does that play out?
basically Eden Prime helps you get to the CIT center or whatever.
Okay.
And then you teleport. I can't remember because it was so long ago that I did it, but I think he helps you get to the CIT Institute. And then you teleport in because you're trying to steal the power source that the Institute uses. And then you blow it up. But through all that, that's when you find out Dance is a synth. Like they use the stuff from that to find out Dance is a synth. So then you have to be like, okay, do I still want to stay loyal to the Brotherhood and kill Dance, or do I want to try to convince Elder Lyons or whatever his name, Elder Maxon, to take Dance on, even though he's a synth? So, but I think it's just cool because Eden Prime makes a comeback.
Yeah.
The chick from Fallout 3, also Lee, she makes a comeback. Because I think Lee, if I remember correctly, Lee leaves the Institute and joins the Brotherhood because I think she's an Institute worker now. I can't remember. But yeah, a lot of Fallout 3 nods come back.
Interesting.
But right now I'm working on a path that everybody lives except for the Institute. So there's a way to where if you don't interact with the Brotherhood at all, they stay neutral to you.
Okay.
So if you complete like the railroad missions, and then you blow your cover with the Institute and tell Father, hey, I'm working with Railroad and stuff like that. When you have that conversation with him on top of the CIT building.
Yeah.
Desdemona will basically tell you you're going to have to ask the Minutemen for help because you've betrayed us. You're not hostile to them, but you've pissed her off enough. She's like, we're not going to help you. You blew your cover. Yeah. Like, we're not helping you anymore. Father banned you from the Institute, so you can't get into the Institute no more.
Okay.
So basically, you ask the Minutemen for help, then you beat the game with the Minutemen. After that's all said and done, there's actually a part where you can evacuate the Institute.
Really?
Yeah. So you get to a terminal, and you can choose to evacuate all Institute personnel, like the site, like the ones that aren't bad, basically.
Right.
And once it's all said and done, the game's over. You can still go hang out with the Brotherhood because you didn't do any missions for them, so they don't hate you. Because the problem with the Brotherhood is they make you kill everybody. The Brotherhood makes you kill the railroad.
Okay.
They make you. I think you have to attack the Minutemen as the Brotherhood too, because they want the castle or whatever. But I don't remember.
See, so of any Fallout game, the Brotherhood are the ones I have the least experience with. Because one, they're always the hardest to get involved with or find their locations.
I'm going to get to that here in a second. Yeah.
But like Fallout 4, besides where Dance is when you first find them, I've never experienced anything Brotherhood beyond that.
You didn't want to go to the Boston airport?
So
where the Pridwin was?
The problem is I ignore main missions so much whenever I play, and the airship doesn't show up until after
kill Kellogg.
Yeah, exactly. Is it when you kill Kellogg?
Yeah, because as soon as you exit the building, you'll see the Pridwin fly over.
And so, like, I forgot about that the last time I played through, and so I just kept doing missions for the Minutemen. Like those guys, I kept going back and doing. I'm like, when does this progress?
So,
and then I just gave up on them, and that's when I went. I think literally I went through that door, saw the airship. I was like, oh my gosh, and then I just stopped playing.
So, eventually you'll get to the point. So if you still have settlements that haven't been explored yet, you'll start to get missions to relocate the Institute people.
Oh, really?
Yep. So you can go through and designate certain settlements to be Institute?
Wow.
to house them.
That's cool.
Yeah. But it's funny that you said that about the Brotherhood. So I found out something about the Brotherhood where I don't like them anymore. I don't like the faction of the Brotherhood at all. Fallout 3, they were the good guys. Okay?
Kind of. Yeah.
So they were the people that, they were trying to help you defeat the Enclave. They cared about the people, whatever. For Fallout New Vegas, they were selfish jerks who only cared about the technology and could care less about anybody. Fallout 4, again, they only care about advancing humanity with technology.
Right.
If you're not a part of the Brotherhood, you're dead to them.
Which that's how the Brotherhood has been since.
And they're bigots. They don't like...
Right.
They don't like ghouls. They don't like synths. They don't care about nothing.
Right. Which that's how the Brotherhood has been since Fallout, the original Fallout.
Yeah. So what's interesting about this is that I listened to this podcast. It's called Fallout Lorecast, where they talk about just like the lore of Fallout.
Yeah.
And they did a whole segment on Mr. House.
Okay.
Now, Mr. House could be pegged as the bad guy in New Vegas.
Right.
If I ever play New Vegas ever again, I am sticking by Mr. House's side the entire time.
That's how I did it.
And there's a reason why. So if you're doing his missions, he gives you the task of killing the Brotherhood of Steel.
Okay.
He does this because he says in a few years' time, they're going to give no care about the humanity and only care about technology and use it for selfish reasons. He actually quotes this in New Vegas. Like, this is the reason. Like, if you ask him why you have to kill the Brotherhood, he talks about why. Fast forward to Fallout 4, and you're like, holy crap, I've never put 2 and 2 together. These guys are just a bunch of selfish pricks.
Yep.
And so when I'm sitting here, I'm listening, and when they're breaking down how Robert House really is and like what he's trying to do, like he had goals for humanity. Mm-hmm. He's like, give me 50 years and I'll send people back to space again. Give me 100 years and I'll have power to every inch of the earth. Like if you go through and you actually talk about this guy, he goes through it and you're like, I killed this guy so many times on my playthroughs of Fallout New Vegas.
Yep.
Like I've never sat down and actually listened to him talk because I'm just like, this is just tyrannical jerk who doesn't care about anybody but the strip. And I'm like, oh wait, no, this guy actually cares about humanity in a way that the Brotherhood doesn't.
So my initial playthrough, I sided with him.
I always did the yes man path.
So I consider the number one bad guy in New Vegas is Kaiser.
Yeah. The Legionnaires.
Yep. And so, yeah, with me, because if you go with his path, the last fight is with Kaiser.
Yep.
And so...
Well, and that's how it is with Yes Man, too. The reason why I always did the Yes Man path is because everybody survived, except for the Legions. But, like, the NCR survived, the Brotherhood survived.
Man, I love that game.
Yeah.
We've been talking about Fallout for so long.
I know, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But we probably need to end this episode.
Yeah. We didn't get to what I wanted to get to. But
well, what do you want to get to?
No.
We have a little bit of time.
No, we can do it next time.
All right.
Okay, we can do it real quick.
Okay.
We'll do it real quick. So I want it real quick. You know me, I love my top 5 lists.
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to create an army of your top 5 video game characters. It doesn't matter if they're the protagonist, the enemy, a side character, a companion. It doesn't matter what they are.
Okay.
So we'll shoot off of each other. So I'll let you go first because I'm curious. If I don't know the character, you just explain what they're from, or tell people what game are they from, and what who they are. I guess. Okay.
And so are we building a list for like fighting like we've done before, or is this just
sure.
Okay. Crap. That makes it harder.
Or it's just your top let's just do top 5 favorites.
Okay, cool.
In video games, companions, side characters, protagonists, whatever.
So you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Crap, I forget his name. It was the last good game that Ubisoft ever made, or Far Cry 3. And it was the guy on the cover. Why can't I think of his name?
Voss?
Yes, it was Voss. Okay. He is the best video game villain ever because he was legitimately terrifying because he was so well acted.
Do you know what the definition?
What?
Do you know the definition?
Definition of what?
Of insanity. Oh. Remember, that was his whole thing.
Yes. Okay. But yeah, he was so well voice acted, really written, and then it was such a shame that he didn't even make it halfway through the game before he was dead. Yeah. But he was a legitimate psychopath. There was nothing extraordinary about him. All he wanted to do was be powerful enough so he could just kill whoever he wanted.
Yeah.
So that's my first pick.
Okay. So real fast. In Fallout 6, Far Cry 6, there's a DLC where you can play as him.
Okay.
It's the original voice actor and everything. It's really cool. Anyway, My top one is the OG of OGs. He is probably the best companion in all of the Mass Effect series. Garrus Vakarian.
Okay, that's what I figured you were going to
That
go
man is a beast. And I protect him with my life.
So if we're going to go into that, my favorite, if we're going to talk about Mass Effect.
Is this your number 2?
Sure. Now, it's going to be 2 people combined. Rex and Grunt.
You bastard. I was going to say Grunt for my other one.
Because I love both of them. I love their just pure anger and their straightforwardness, and they're just...
Yeah, and I can't believe in Mass Effect 1 you have the choice to kill Rex.
I know.
And then he just doesn't show up again.
Yep.
Yeah. Dang it. Yeah, I love Grunt. Yeah, I'm pure Krogan.
Yeah. It's the same reason people love Dax from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
It's because like there's no subtlety.
Again, messing up all these names. It's Drax.
Thank you, Drax.
Good.
There's no subtlety. It's all just straightforward. There's no.
Oh yeah, he doesn't sugarcoat nothing.
Yeah, there's no sugarcoating. There's no hidden meaning. It's just. But yeah, so there's my number 2.
Okay. My second is Nick Valentine.
Yep. Okay, that's a good one.
So I remember watching Fallout 4's trailer for the first time, and you just see this guy in a trench coat. So they're thinking, oh, that might be the mysterious stranger, and blah 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 blah. Well, when you first meet Nick Valentine, you just see the piercing, glowing eyes, but the rest of him, like in the game, the rest of him is like blacked out.
Yep.
And then when he walks closer to you, you realize that he's this beat up synth.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this guy is sweet, and just his character development and everything, and just how he talks to you. He's basically just a gangster.
Right. Yeah, Nick Valentine's a really good one.
Yeah.
Man, all right. So it's hard for me to pick out like favorite characters.
Well, when you're like us and you've played a lot of video games.
Too many.
Yeah.
So another one that I would think I would pick is from Pillars of Eternity. I forget his name, which is annoying because of how many times I've played that game. But he's like basically the first companion you get. Okay. And he's just got a real nice southern draw. I'm pretty sure it's actually the same voice actor as McCree from Overwatch.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so he's just got a nice little southern draw, talks real calmly. And it's just everything about his character was well written. They use him to describe the depth of the world that you're in.
Okay.
And he's also used to explain why the world is the way that it is. Gotcha. And so he's just...
Insert his name here.
Yeah, I'm pissed that I can't remember his name, but yeah.
So that's your 3. I'm on number 3. Shoot, I just had it. What? Shoot. Oh, Captain Price from the Modern Warfare series.
Oh, yeah, that's
so the original Modern Warfares, and then now the new ones. Yeah. Captain Price is a beast.
He is a fantastic
And I just love playing
character.
Call of Duty with my headphones on. I just hear his voice. It's like ASMR. And just put me to sleep. It's all warm. It culls me inside.
So I'm at 4.
Yeah, this is your 4th one.
Okay. I'm pretty sure his name, it's, again, been so long since I played it, but Garrett, I'm pretty sure is his name, from Final Fantasy VII.
Okay.
It's Mr. T, but with a machine gun arm.
Really?
Yeah. He's awesome. Yeah, he has an arm that's a Gatling gun.
Okay.
And he's comedic. He is powerful. He's a cool concept to just be a super buff dude who just, one of his arms is a gun, a machine gun. It's just freaking dope. And so I'm going to go with him.
Okay. My number 4 is going to be Leon Kennedy.
Good choice.
From Resident Evil.
Good choice.
Because of all the characters in Resident Evil, he's probably the only one that actually does anything.
Yeah, he's the best.
Because Chris Redfield's just a meathead who gets everybody in trouble.
Yep.
Yeah, Leon Kennedy, OG.
Yeah, he's a good one. Okay. And then for my final, man, I have different names bouncing around in my head, but then I'm like, would I really pick them? And the answer is no. You know what? I will go with, I was going to say Shepard, but I'm I'm not going to go with Shepard. He's just
Which one, male or female?
doesn't matter.
Is he your honorable mention?
It's hard to think. I'm going to go with 2B, which is from Nier Automata.
Okay.
Yeah. 2B, which is the first character that you play as. I'm not even going to go with her. I forget what the male android's name is, but him.
9S.
He's a funny character. He has a very unique play style.
Okay.
Since I can't think of anybody else, I'm just going to go with him.
Okay.
So
I'm going to go for my number 5. This list is kind of turned in from our favorite characters to just people we're picking. But I'm going to go with everybody's favorite loudmouth. He's the robot on wheels talking
Dang it,
trash can.
Oh, man, I was just going to switch it to that.
Claptrap.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to switch out 2B or whoever my 5th pick with Tiny Tina.
Oh, Tiny Tina.
She's too awesome.
I'm going Claptrap.
Yeah, Claptrap is great.
Rachel, you've been so quiet this podcast. What's your top 3 video game characters? You played enough video games where you should at least have 3 names off the top of your head.
I do not have 3. I don't play enough story mode games.
That's very
Well, I was just thinking her favorite video game series is BioShock.
Oh.
So I didn't know if she'd add.
Fontaine.
Okay.
Love Fontaine.
Any others?
No.
Just Fontaine? He's your.
I mean, they would all be from BioShock. Like, I'm not going to pick a Stardew Valley character.
Why not?
There's not a whole lot of story building with them.
We've all played Stardew Valley. You can marry people in that game.
I'm aware.
There's actually quite a bit. If you jump into like all the lore, there's a lot that you can learn. But
Yeah.
Who would be your favorite character in Stardew Valley?
Shane.
Yeah, you married him so many times.
I married him once, and then I married Sebastian once.
Shane was the drunk, right?
Yes.
That you basically got mad at for being a drunk, and then he quit drinking.
Yep.
My favorite is the purple-haired one, like gothy one.
Yep.
I can't get.
Abigail.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought it was.
I can't get into that
Cheats
game.
rocks. Anyways,
So that's 2. You don't got nothing else?
Big Daddy.
Okay, I was waiting for Big Daddy. Yeah, I was waiting for Big Daddy.
Big Daddy's a classic character.
Yeah, dude, I just love BioShock 2. I finally grinded through BioShock 1, but I started BioShock 2 not too long ago, probably a year ago, where you get to actually be the Big Daddy. I'm like, this is sick.
Actually, can I swap out Shane from Stardew Valley with Pyramid Head from...
Ooh,
Oh, Silent Hill, that's a good one.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, I feel bad for the mannequins. Anyway,
All right, I think that's where we're
it.
going to put a bow on it.
I think we all had pretty top tier picks.
Yeah,
That list is going to be refined later on, later episodes, but
probably. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's hard to think of off the top of your head because again, we've played so many games.
yeah.
And so how do you just plop out? There's only a handful that I can think of from like that character, like Boss.
I'm surprised you didn't pull out like Bowser because he's your favorite.
Bowser is my favorite Nintendo character.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have more top 5s. I like doing the top 5s.
All right.
It really picks your brain,
Yeah.
makes you think. And it's not just going to be video game related. It's going to be other stuff related.
Top 5 brands of underwear. Go.
Hanes,
kidding.
Fruit of the Loom. And 1. Calvin Klein. And Whitey Tidies. I don't know.
All right, guys. Thank
Victoria's
you for
Secret.
tuning in. There you go. Perfect. No better thongs than Victoria's Secrets.
I wouldn't know.
Guys, have a fantastic day. Thank you for tuning in, especially if you made it all the way this far. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, ring the little bell, leave a comment, tell your friends.
Is that my cue?
Yep.
Stay dangerous, folks.
Stay toasty, my friends.
Bye. Bye.
I'm here. Say that. Say that. Say that.